As someone who uses AI literally every hour of my job now as a data scientist, I am absolutely guilty of having AI do parts of my job and just doing some general thinking for me and not fully understanding the logic that it's going through. We've all done it, but also, what is the point of life if it entirely replaces my thinking process and I don't fully understand what it's enabling me to do? So I feel like over the last couple of months, I've actually really been using AI differently, not just to give me answers, but have it expose where my thinking is weak and just help me build strong learning habits. I now genuinely feel like AI is propelling me forward and I'm smarter than I ever have been because of it. And it doesn't feel like I'm just outsourcing to AI. For those of you who may not know me, I'm Priya. I'm a data scientist at Stripe. I used to be at Uber. I just use AI a lot and want to share everything I've learned. I think the biggest tension with AI is that it makes you feel smart before you've actually earned it. It gives you a clear explanation, you nod along, and your brain feels like you've learned it, but recognition isn't the same as recall. And understanding a polished answer isn't the same as reproducing all of the reasoning yourself to get to the same answer. Studies show that information retrieval and practicing recall far outperform passive note-taking. I'm sure you've heard this in high school, college, or after, where quizzing yourself is actually better for you to learn concepts rather than just taking notes. We're outsourcing our entire thinking. We're not putting pen to paper, and we're just skimming through the very detailed answers that AI gives us that may or may not even be fully correct. And also, at the end of all of that, we're only retaining maybe 5% of it because we haven't done any sort of active information retrieval practices. I think this is particularly risky, at least for example, in data science, because it involves SQL, stats, machine learning applications, basic data analysis, mathematics, and all of these things need to come together to make a potentially largely impactful business decision. It's the scientists who really know their fundamentals, their mathematical and statistical knowledge, is all there that are really going to succeed. If you understand linear algebra, calculus, the basics of transformers, ML model applications, you genuinely understand when you would do one thing over another thing, you will be fine. And the same goes for basically any other field. If you're not someone who can succeed through first principles, you will be replaced by AI. And all of this kind of led me to a singular experiment with AI that is just so stupidly simple, but really allowed me to reclaim intellectual curiosity. And it led me down genuinely interesting and enriching self-learning path the past couple of months. Before I get into my AI audit experiment, the results, and this robust writing practice that actually came out of all of this, I want to briefly talk about Brilliant, who is sponsoring this portion of the video. When we talk about genuine learning, Brilliant really naturally fits into that system. Brilliant's an interactive learning platform for math, data science, software engineering, coding principles, and really anything also science and math related from K through 12, but also for lifelong learners like us. Great about the AI as well that's built into the Brilliant platform is that it will never just give you the answer. It almost nudges you in the right direction and tries to tweak your brain into thinking the right way to get to the answer, just like how teachers are supposed to do. Use Brilliant's tutor for free to actually learn code interactively rather than just outsourcing your work to AI. And my code gets you 20% off the premium subscription if you decide to go that route. So if you're interested in that first principles fundamental approach to thinking, to learning, genuinely to be a lifelong learner, you should check out Brilliant by scanning the QR code on the screen right now and signing up. So now I kind of want to talk about that experiment audit that kind of changed the way I use AI. Setting up the experiment, I basically gave AI my level general projects that I've worked on and all of the topics I wanted to test. So that included ML fundamentals, ML application, experimentation. And I asked it to quiz me one question at a time. We went through 25 questions. I did it on a plane for an hour and a half. And for each question, I told it not to give me the answer until I keep trying. And if I get it right, it should go even deeper into that problem space. And if I'm wrong, it should kind of flag that as a prerequisite of something I should probably know better. I'll show you the questions it asked me on the screen, but it was quite enlightening to be able to just probe so deep in a way that I wouldn't be able to with another human because I'm too embarrassed that I don't know the answer to a specific question. And the fact that it probed when I was good at things and immediately clocked when I wasn't and just moved on to the next question and flagged it as a prerequisite prerequisite. Based on all of the quiz results, it created like a 30-day fundamentals curriculum and actually hit the nail on the head of what I'm good at and what I'm really kind of lacking in. And it even made me feel better about like whatever imposter syndrome that this entire quiz gave me. I'm someone who got an undergrad degree in astrophysics and just started working as a data scientist. So it's been very practical applications my entire career. I am not a theory person. Like I understand the theory somewhere in the depths of the practicality of it. And I can tell you what it said, but it said that I really have applied skills like framing the right business problem, building models that work in production, communicating results to stakeholders, and talking about system level concerns like feedback loops and label collapse. It said that my answer about model drift was very sophisticated, more than a textbook, because it came from actually grappling with the problem. So I'm very good at like those application-based layers in ML. But the things I wasn't good at was like maybe the basics of statistics, like formulas that I probably should like know off the top of my head. I think that was like a very good explanation of what I was good at. And the things that I really felt were maybe like not even holding me back in my job, but like mentally holding me back from thinking I was a good data scientist. Certain fundamental things in probability, which honestly I don't use day to day, but I want to really feel confident in. So after like the whole quiz and getting together these fundamentals, I just asked it to put everything together in a way where it pulled certain research papers, used Khan Academy, used StatQuest, used DataCamp modules, like gave me like, a way to learn these concepts through any of these avenues that are accessible to me. That entire audit process was very beneficial. And what kind of came out of that entire process was like this next step of like how I'm using AI. I'd like to call it like an intellectual question engine. And I ask it fundamental questions now, building my knowledge in spaces that I care about. And you can create project files within Claude or within ChatGPT. And within that project file, I just have so many chats where I'm asking questions about things that I care about. Like, I think one really big domain is macroeconomics. I've really wanted to understand fundamentally from the ground up, what does a dollar mean? What does it deconstruct to? How does CPI work? How does PCE work? And those are all things that I've really genuinely wanted to learn about. I listen to podcasts a lot. I read books about it. But it gave me a bunch of like papers that I should read from the Bank of England about money creation and just the fundamental meaning of money. And that has been so good. And I take notes on everything. So I have like these 4 notebooks that I take notes on for so many different things. Like this is my notebook for side projects. This is my notebook for just like literally everything. Like when I watch a YouTube video, I take notes on my YouTube videos. Like I literally take notes on YouTube videos because I need active recall. In this day and age of AI where everything is so easy, there's no friction in my life. I'm literally forgetting how to use my brain. I want to use my brain and I want to remember what I'm learning and I want to watch good videos. And you know, this is really just, it's been so good. Like this writing practice has changed my entire life. I seem like a crazy person. I have this little one for like little random ideas I have, like when I'm on the train or whatever, I put it in my bag. I started reading this book when I was on vacation a couple of weeks ago, a Haruki Murakami book. I've never read a book like this. Like it's almost like a dream state where things are written. The entire book is just metaphors of like dream states and reality and like horrific things representing a metaphor. And I just had so many questions because it's almost like a Greek tragedy, the way the book was written. I just asked so many questions about the themes of the book. I think all of this like goes up back to active recall. So really thinking about things intentionally, that is what has changed. Like that audit was great for data science, but above that, like it instilled this practice of like constantly trying to remember everything. And I feel so grateful to it. I think the main takeaway from this entire video is that I've gotten far enough in life to realize that I don't really know anything. So we should just keep learning, not just data science or like whatever your field is, but really just keep learning everything. That is what makes the world so vivid. Use it to better yourself and to keep learning. And I genuinely think like, learning is the only way we can all move forward. So thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to interact with the video if you found it useful in any way. And if you want any like practical data science videos, I have some on Claude Code, data science roadmaps and everything. So feel free to explore or request more videos. Thanks so much. I'll see you guys at the next one.